So till now we have done the specification for our stack ADT. If you remember, we have defined, specified these operations based on what we had done in CS 203, and now what we have to do is we have to move on with the implementation of our functions. So out of these functions, we have already taken care of the create new, and now let's go and do is empty and is full. These are the simplest operations to implement. So let's get started with implementation of is empty. So if I go to my implementation file, the variable value count tells me the number of elements in my stack. So I will simply add if this value count is equal to 0, or rather I'll say is greater than 0, I will return false. And otherwise I'll return true. Okay. Or as we have done in the specifications, if value count is equal to 0, we are going to return true. Otherwise we are going to return false. Let's try to follow our specification as much as possible. Okay, so let's check the way we checked if our stack is empty. We checked value count. If it is equal to 0, we return true, otherwise we return false. Now same way, let's ask question about is full. Okay, so let's go and implement our is full operation. So for that we would need the information about again how many elements we have stored and what is the capacity of the stack. Okay, so we'll go here and compare the value of value count. If this value count, and then ask question is equal to, and we need to know the capacity of the stack, the array. So I will go to array and ask question, do I know the capacity of array publicly? We don't, because it's a private data element. So here is a public function that I have defined, which is get capacity, and if you go and look at the array implementation file, the get capacity simply returns the capacity. So we have to go to our stack implementation and compare this value count with members dot get capacity. Okay, and if this is equal, then it means that our stack is full. Okay, so in that case we are going to return true. If that's not the case, then we are going to return false. Okay, so that's our is empty and is full operation. And what else we need to do? We have to do push and pop. So pushing, it's easy. We are going to ask question if. So let's go and again see our specification. What is the logic for push? So let's go to here. So for push, we are going to ask question, is our stack full? If yes, we are going to return error. Otherwise we are going to store the element. So let's do the same. If it's full, and if that is true, we should return false. There is a better way to return the error, but we'll come to that little bit later. Okay. Currently we will do away with this simple method. So if my stack is full, I'm going to return false. I cannot push. Otherwise I have to do the store element operation. So I'll go to members dot set element, and which index I have to set? the value count I have to set. And which is the value? The value that I just received. Okay, so I'll call it push val, the value that I have received. I'll send the same value for pushing, and I'll set the element, and let's see if there is anything else there. Okay, so here is the code that I have just written. Sorry, I was displaying the image only. So now what we have done, is full, return false, otherwise we are setting the element. So let's go to our specification. Is there anything else left? Oh, we have to increase the value count. So let's go and increase that value count to reflect that we have pushed an element. So after this I have to do value count plus plus. This will increase the value of this variable by 1. Okay, and let's do the pop as well. Okay, so for pop we are going to check if stack is empty, return error, otherwise reduce the value count and return the element. So let's go to code blocks and write that code. So I'm going to check for pop if it's empty, true. In that case I should return default value. I'm calling it -1. Again, this is not the best way to handle, but we will improve. This is our first iteration of implementation. If it is not empty, then what I should do, I should reduce the value count by 1 minus minus, and then I should return members dot get element. Oh, no, not get capacity. I should get element at which index, the value count index, and that's what I need in pop. Okay, so that's my pop operation, and let's check if there is anything else remaining. So we have done push pop, is empty, is full, and create new. So let's go in our code blocks and see if there is any function left to be implemented. So is full, is empty, pop, push, and everything is done. So now let's come back to our main file and try to build this project. Let's see if there is any error. So there is an error on line 27 in our implementation file. I missed the semicolon. Okay, so let's do that and see if there is any problem. Our project compiled fine. So let's run it. Okay. So if I run it, what happens? I do Control F10 and it works fine. Okay, so let me show you the command prompt window. And now currently I am statically linking everything, so I can just run the executable file from here, and you can see that everything runs fine. So now let's go and add push pop operations to our code. So currently we are not doing any push pop operations, right? So now I have created stack of size 5, and let me write a loop. So I'm going to write a loop. I'll say int say count equal to 10, and I would say that count is less than 10 plus, I'll try to push 20, okay, up to 20. I'll say count plus plus, and all I will do is s1 dot push value of count. Okay, and with this let's see what happens. I'll do compilation, and let's come back to our command prompt and see what happens when I run this. So what we expect is that when I start pushing values from 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, these 5 values should be pushed onto the stack and rest of the values should be rejected. So let's see what happens. Okay. We currently are not displaying any message, right? So let's go back in our code blocks and add the message. If we are not able to push, so whenever the stack is full, let's add a cout statement saying that stack full cannot push, and let me write down that particular value and end of line. Okay. Same way in case of pop, let's add the cout statement here. Stack empty cannot pop. Let's have end of line and compile it. So it's compiled fine. Now let's go back and execute. Okay. So now we can see that we start getting the stack full message when we try to push 15. So values from 10 to 14, they were pushed onto stack successfully. Okay. And now let's remove the other messages about constructor and destructor, because now we are sure about how they work. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll comment out my destructor as well as constructor message in stack. I'll go to array, do the same thing for array destructor and my array constructor as well. Okay. And now let's also add a set of pop operations. So now I have done, I tried to do 10 push operations. So I'll now try to do 10 pop operations. So now what should happen is I should be able to pop out 5 values. So I'm saying that pop 5 values from my stack, 10 values from the stack, and I'll simply say that popped this particular value from stack, and then let me put end of line. Okay. Now what do we expect? We are trying to pop 10 values, but we can pop only 5 values, and after that 5 times we should get the message we could not pop. So let me build this project. There is some error, and let's see what is the error. I did not put the operator correctly, so let's see if this works. There is one more error. Okay, so what's the error? So I'm sending a count, which is not the right thing to do, because pop function doesn't take any input argument. So let's run this, and it runs fine. Okay. It compiles fine. So now let's go to command prompt and run our program. Let me do CLS and I run it. Okay. So you can see that the stack is full, is message given 5 times, and then we could pop 14, 13, 12, 11, 10 from the stack, and then we get the stack empty message 5 times. However, we are still printing the value -1, which is returned by default. So what should really happen is that this pop function, it should tell me if my stack is empty. So currently we have not done that, so let's go and do it. So what I'll do is I'll say that if my stack S1 is empty, okay, and I will do the negation of that. So if my stack is not empty, only then go and pop these values. Okay. And now let's compile this and then run this. Go to command prompt and run this, and now you can see the difference as compared to the previous case, right? So now I'm able to push 5 values, and 5 values I am not able to push, 15 to 19, and then I'm popping only when the stack is not empty. So that's the implementation of StackADT. So important point to note is that if we have worked on our specification and logic well on the paper, if you have put in efforts to understand how your abstract data type is supposed to behave, and you have taken efforts to write down the detailed implementation logic beforehand, writing the code is not difficult, okay? Writing the code, it's simply the translation of your thinking on paper into the programming language syntax, and it doesn't take that long, okay? So that's the main point to remember. So that completes our stack discussion.